wabaya, but sincerely wenye wanakaanga chini wakitusaidia, kama jirani yako ni Mjaluo, huyo Mjaluo ndo atakusaidia. And in my life as a person, right now I'm 30, I can tell you for a fact that wenye wamenisaidianga kwa vitu mingi sana, even with the government, kama natembea kwa hizi maofisi, are none other than those Kikuyus, Kalenjins, wenye I least expect. But you see, uko ushago, watu wanajua tu vile Wakikuyu ndio wabaya. So, you know, these are the mentality of divide and rule. And that is what also the politicians are using right now. Na ukiangalia how ma politicians vile wanaongea. And that is why, hata I think hiyo nilisema in one of the spaces. Saizi hata mkiangalia, watu wako divided. Na watu wako divided kwa sababu gani? Ni kwa sababu our parents are sold to idea ati hawa watoto hawajui. Unajua hawa Wakikuyu wamekwanga wabaya sana. Ongelesheni hawa watoto. Hawa Wakikuyu ndio wanataka kuchukua kiti by force. But you see, when you're looking at these things genuinely, I remember even yesterday I was speaking to my mom. Hakuna pesa kwa ground. Hakuna pesa kwa ground. Na every system is not working. If I tell you even what is happening in Nairobi County, I've been selling something on my ex account saying Sakaja tulipe pesa zetu. Sakaja tulipe pesa zetu. So I took time and went there yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, on Thursday. Whatever is happening there is drastic. Because you find maybe umefanya job, unapata kuna kampuni mingi zimefanya kazi. Treasury ina take like 4 months haijai release pesa yoyote. How do they expect those counties to work? Then you know, all the blame we are putting on the governor. All the blame we are putting on the senators. But sincerely, hii kitu work from the top. So, tunafaa kuangalia hizo problems vile zinakuja. And I'm saying yes, tunajaribu. But mimi ningependa like watu wakuwe na agenda. Because hii ukiwa na huge platform, for example how kama Afrocentric, we uko na big uko na big platform. If you are selling an agenda, because saizi the tool of communication is through media. Is through media ndio kila kitu inaweza fikia hata mtu wa chini. But unajua ushago, hakuna mtu anajua space ushago. Ushago huko ukiongelesha nyanya zetu, hakuna mtu anajua kitu ati kuna kwanga na Twitter, kuna kwanga na Instagram, they don't know those things. Now, this is where the problem is. Because saizi hata tunaambiwa ati tumejoin government. And I can tell you, because I speak to people, I educate people, like 90% of the youths are not happy with Raila's planning. Sisi tulikuwa tunajua huyu Ruto aende nyumbani, apewe wenye wanaweza fanya kazi time. But ukienda huko ushago, like right now I'm talking to you, watu wanajua vile youth ndo wanasumbua Ruto, lakini Ruto anataka kufanya kazi. Na ukiangalia vizuri sahi, and I'm proud people really addressed it. Ruto after 2 akaona Nyanza hawaku demonstrate, akaona like Kisii sijui wapi hawaku demonstrate, and he's forgetting that people were selling the idea that people should travel, and Nairobi was the main area where people wanted to demonstrate from. The next day alianza kutembea hizo makaunti akisema akirelaunch projects za kitambo, projects zenye make sense, na hata ukiangalia hiyo kazi he's so thick to know that within 2 years haizi kuwa amelaunch hizo projects zote. You know, he's not thinking that way. Yeah, anaangalia tu watu waone amefanya kazi. But a normal human being will ask himself or herself, huwezi launch projects kama 100 na ndio umeingia juzi in power. Ungetuambia umelaunch 6 projects na ni vitu zenye zinaonekana yenye mwananchi anajaribu kuona, anaweza ona na anaweza testify. So na yeye unajua ana sell agenda yake, because ana sell hiyo story ya anafanya kazi. Na hiyo ndio kitu inajulikana huko ushago. Na huko ushago kuna kura, because these are people who are poor. Hao pia ukiwaselia tu idea ati watu wote mimi nitawapea kazi, they will vote for you because 1, they are poor, 2, they cannot even afford a meal a day, 3, They are looking for people who can give them hope. So hapo ndo unapata hii shida iko enye mimi hata nilikuwa na advocate. In fact mimi pesa tu ndo nimekosa vizuri, but when I get money nataka kutembea kwa hizo grassroots and especially to my people and tell them this is now what is on the ground, because kama si hawa wazazi wetu for sure atungefika hapa. Na even me right now I have a son, but I'm tending to wonder atanunua mkate pesa ngapi when he becomes of age. Right now I'm buying bread at 70 shillings. Where how will he buy bread? Itakuwa like hata 200. Na hiyo 200 huwezi pata kama tukiendelea hivi, because I can tell you for a fact we are in a crisis, and I can tell you for a fact this government will not stop abducting people who are speaking the truth. That's why we even said it can be you or it can be me, because so long as you can call them out na unaweza waambia hii mnafanya vibaya, then you become their enemy. Last but not least, ukiangalia hizi ma devolved government, in fact mimi I've been saying that thing, I think even in my TikTok page I talked about it. Health ndiyo makosa kubwa sana kukuwa devolved. Education, walimu walishaona hii story wakakataa mapema, but if you can see right now education inaanguka, education literally inaanguka. We have a situation where teachers are not paid properly as they should. In fact mtu ana hibu akilipa mwalimu 17,000 na anajiwekea hiyo 17,000 ndo pesa yake ya airtime a month. So literally there's a problem in the health sector. Na mimi I'm telling you as a mother, when I was having my baby, that time I was in Kisumu. Tulikuwa tunaenda hosi, unaambiwa drugs ni free. In fact postnatal antenatal care ni free, mpaka upewe free mosquito net plus upewe dawa za kumeza ili usipate malaria. I got a chance and lived in Laikipia. That is not happening. In Laikipia, you are paying including for common vaccine for a child. If you come to Nairobi, the same thing. Juzi nimekuwa na kesi hapa ya mtoto alikuwa assaulted. Nimeenda nikachukua P3. Kupeleka huyo mtoto hospitali ili afanyiwe examination, I was charged 2,000. No, now unashangaa. Mtu mwenye hana hiyo pesa atapata justice because hana 2,000. You know, those are the things you people we are supposed to be addressing. Because me, if I start talking about what is happening on the ground, given that I'm a children's rights advocate, it's pathetic. People cannot get justice because they are poor. People cannot receive normal medication because they are poor, they don't have money. People cannot even go for CS section na mtu ako na mimba because you don't have money. Uko in labor, lakini daktari anakuambia kama hakuna 20,000 hakuna vile women die in those hospital because of that. So as we move on these things, we should not slow down. Na kama we ni big wig na umechukua an agenda you want to talk, and I really like what Professor TV is doing. Ya amechukua ID. Hiyo ID nda anattack. Hiyo ID nda anattack. Mtu mmoja akichukua treasury, hiyo treasury attack hiyo treasury. Mtu mwingine akichukua abduction. Mimi what I'll do, juu mimi sina big wig, nita retweet na nita support. So that is the channel we should be focusing on henceforth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Grace. And, just being in a position whereby you are asking people to pick up a mantle and run with it. Pick up that mantle and run with it. Of course, that ID issue, and we have this governance issue. We have this whatever, and it was a police brutality issue. There are a lot of issues to pick up, and not one person can pick up all of them. And we need to shed a light on all these issues in equal measure, instead of just sitting on the fence. I mean, like I keep on saying, Kenya is a crime scene, and there's so much crime going on. You wake up every morning, you find something just happened. Today I woke up to free Aoko. Tomorrow we don't know what you're gonna wake up to. So it's important that we don't just sit on the fence. We don't just sit there and do nothing. At least do something. Try and do something to ensure that you're language of Kenyans, because at the end of the day, this tribalism nonsense that is the government is trying to divide us into. They're trying so hard, and I'll tell you this fact: we are giving them nightmares because for so long has the government divided Kenyans through their tribalistic roots. But the moment we came up and said we are tribeless, tuliwapatia and then tukakuja tukasema we are leaderless. Sasa hapo ndo sasa tukaumiza kabisa, cause hawako wanajua ni nani wanaweza bring on the table wamwongeleshe, and that's why you see anybody trying to come up and picking up government on from the roots and speaking about stuff, they abduct them. And that's why we are getting people getting abducted. We are getting people citizens getting killed. Unamka leo unapata sijui nani alikufa, unamka leo unapata sijui nani ana miss, kesho unapata sijui alienda. Unaget. So that is the only way the government can subdue their they can just get rid of us pole pole. And you see, with through that they're instilling fear. Waki abduct nani leo, Aoko leo. Well, all those tweeps who keep on tweeting and exposing the government wanaogopa, so they're trying to sell fear and propaganda. Propaganda has really been used to separate netizens and citizens of different citizens of the world, so of different countries of the world. So what I'm trying to say is that pick up something and get deeply rooted to it, and we will support you. And me, what I keep on telling people, pick up. If you're interested in leadership, please do not shy away. That is the only way we can get rid of this government. Pick up those leadership roles. Don't shy away from those leadership roles. It's your turn. They've done this enough times. We trusted them, but they turned their back on us. Instead, we thought we had an opposition. Kumbe, the opposition was just an opposition by name, but the attire they were putting on was the government's attire. So I'm just asking you guys to start picking up those leadership roles, because the time is now. We cannot wait for tomorrow. Chief Ekon, you've been here for some time. After you, I have Freedom, then Dovu. Then I'll start, and then we have Riek Mashar. Then I'll start bringing up new speakers. Chief Ekon, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Ayo, and good morning, everyone. I think there's something you've highlighted about tribalism, and okay, how the government and the administrations make sure that people are not in one way or another united. And the issue of tribalism has been an issue that has affected us for a very, very long time, starting with all the way from the times when Kenya was handed to our local leaders from our colonizers. And the topic of tribalism, if you check, it's like it has never changed, because tribalism basically sort of improves the moment people have some level of education, and I think we've not yet reached that point. But if you check also from our leadership, if you check the top brass of leaders in Kenya, all of 90% or even 95%, these are people who I believe are tribal. Because one, we have never had a leader who has sort of married from another tribe. Even right now, you check all the top brass of leaders, starting from Ruto, Mudavadi, whoever. These are people who have married, and the act and the culture of marriage is sort of something that really contributes to sort of unity among a people. If you have the president as married from his tribe, president has married from their tribe, this basically shows that even as the Kenyan people, as much as we are talking about unity, we have not even elected leaders who sort of give that mindset of unity. That's why you will find today, go and talk to someone who is from another tribe. I won't use the normal, even using the normal Kikuyu, Luo sort of issues that have been happening all through. It's sort of in its own way things that are entrenched in us. Because if you even start an argument, probably mmekosana na mtu mahali kwa hoteli, and if you've interacted with people from the lower class of citizens, you know these things happen. Watu wako kwa mjengo wamekorofishana kidogo about something, and the whole issue turns tribal. In 1 minute, you will hear someone tell you, nyinyi wa Kikuyu sijui mnafikirianga aje, nyinyi wa Jaluo endeni mkapeleke hiyo nguvu yenu sijui kung'oa reli. And it's something that is not even related to things with tribalism. So the society really needs a lot of education, and even that means that even right now, the people who started this movement and the people who has been propagating this movement, there are still people among the citizenry who are sort of looking at this from a tribal perspective. Boniface Mwangi is Kikuyu. Jimmy Wanjigi is Kikuyu, so he's trying to fight other people, other oligarchs, because I think maybe Kikuyu are known to sort of have a lot of control in government and through tenders and such. This is the issue we are dealing with. More so, look at all the way down to how people now, the citizenry, interpret the agenda. And if you check the media consumption in Kenya, you will find that social media has very little media consumption in Kenya. The media consumption that the people sort of engage in is the rural ethnic radio stations and TV stations. Go to Central and listen to how people are interpreting this movement and our agenda, and you will sort of relate that to what the ethnic radio stations are propagating. Right now, go visit your grandmother or your mother at home, or even give them a call and ask them, what do you think about Ruto? What do you think about this movement? The other day, I engaged with one of my family members from my local community, and I asked them, nyinyi mnasema maisha imekuwa ngumu, na tukisema tutoe Ruto, nyinyi mnasema mnaanza kukataa. ama mnakosa kusupport. And the mentality of Luo, Kikuyu, and the mentality of anarchy from a certain tribe is still entrenched in them. You'll find them even telling you that, you see, you are, and that's why this issue of leaders of our movement imekwaza watu wengi sana. You will even find that people who are propagating for us to have leaders are not part of the movement. Ni watu wa nje wanajaribu, wait a minute, how is this happening? How do we find that even people from my community are supporting this movement? Kuna watu bado hawaja understand that part, because the issue of tribalism is deep entrenched in their minds. Kama mtu namuuliza anaanza kuniambia, hii maandamano hii ni mambo ya Wajaluo. We are not in this. Wacha Ruto afanye kazi, hii ni mambo ya Wajaluo. You see? And I can tell you for a fact, these things are happening. I dare you to call someone from your rural area today and have a candid conversation. The level of education of our people that we need to do ni kazi mingi sana. It's a lot of work. You even find a youth 20 years, 25 years has still the same mentality. I've worked with the Boda Boda people for some time. And if you are a Boda Boda guy working in a region where your ethnic group is not a majority, those people have problems. And you will think that Boda Boda people sort of hawa ndio Gen Zs wengi, because these days you will find someone picking a Boda Boda at as low as the age of 19. You think that these people are progressive, watu wako educated. But the level of primitivity these people have, my friend, iko juu sana. That brings me down to the point that the moment Ruto sort of and the opposition brought about this idea of sort of joining, because there's no way these people can see eye to eye, but they brought about that mentality that the opposition, which the primitive person will sort of connected to the anarchy that has been happening to this country, has come on board. That is the mentality they are bringing about. These people have come on board. So they've believed in us. And that's why you see that even people who are convinced that this movement is unique will still drop down back to their level of ethnic mentality. That now, we have Luo Nyanza joining. Wacha tuone vile kutaenda. Luo Nyanza iko ndani. This is a very, very big issue. Because what I believe in leadership, I don't think that having a certain person in leadership will bring about any change. It's all about the mentality of that person. Today we can have Kalonzo, who sort of controls the presidency. If he goes there with the mentality of segregation and ethnic mentality, they won't do anything. If we citizens have that same ethnic mentality, we won't have development in this country. But if we have people in leadership that sort of acknowledge the differentiation in our society, but concentrate on development. It will be very, very easy. Lastly, the president has been going about I'm having a development tour of Kisii. I'm having a development tour of Mombasa. This still boils down to the ethnicity, the primitivity in the heads of these people. If you go to development, if you go for a development tour in Mombasa, if let me just exactly use him. If Ruto goes to Mombasa, he will visit the coastal counties. He will go to Mombasa, Kwale, blah blah, and localize the mentality. If you've ever noted that, he will localize the idea. This idea he's propagating out there, he'll go there and localize it, and talk about Joho, and talk about mining. Why haven't he ever talked about mining in central Kenya? Does it mean that the mining that happens maybe in the coastal region does not in any way benefit the people of Central? If he comes to Central, he will talk about tea. He will talk about things to do with how he will even give sort of Akinagashagwa the mic, and they talk about how people are the Central region is in government. He'll stock up these ideas of Central people are trying to get out of government. He goes to Kisii. He visits Kisii and Nyamira only. He does not go to Bomet in the same regional development tour. He embarks on visiting Nyanza region, and he'll go to Migori, Kisumu, Siaya. I tell you, these people have that mentality, and they share that mentality in everything they do. Yeah, and we need to see this, because if we don't sort out this issue of ethnicity, division, tribalism, which is very, very entrenched. Sai hata ukikosana na a very learned friend of yours, or even a workmate, you'll see how fast it goes down to which tribe you are. And that's why I always insist that whoever is coming on board in this movement, give them a listening ear. Whichever sort of brand or group these people are coming from. Our politics inakwanga so much entrenched with ethnicity, and you will find yourself playing in the same shoes like your grandfathers and these fucking politicians. Listen to everyone. If justice has not been done to Aoko, do not look at it from that mentality of this person is this and this person is from this region. Look at it from a point of view of humanity and progress, because I think we are in a very pivotal moment in history that we can change this nation. I was not to talk about tribalism, but I think I really eated into my time. I was to talk about bottom-up economics and whatever Ruto is doing right now, which is exactly not that. But I'll reach there. Thank you, Ayo.
Thank you so much. Whatever you've spoken about is quite relevant in equal measure, so you don't have to worry about anything. And I really appreciate your sentiments. My question probably to you and any other person is, with the current state of happenings in the country, where are we headed to? Do you think or rather demoralized by the current regime, and that's why people are no longer going to the streets? Or do you think we are not mad enough? Because even after raising placards on the street and saying stop killing us, or stop bad governance.
Can someone hear Ayo?
You can't hear me? Jolie, can you hear me?
Patea.
Oh, sorry. Probably it's the network, but I don't know. So my question is, where are we headed to? And I don't want to ask what's next, because what's next is just about rejecting this bad governance. Are you guys pissed off enough to have the confidence to come for these political seats? Are you ready to be leaders? Are you pissed enough to take accountability and say, guys, enough talk, and right now we need to do the work by us being the leaders? So, Ndovu, as you come up, do you wanna answer that question? Probably.
Yeah. I just want to give my submission. Yeah, this is a very good thing that you guys, if anybody who is like feeling like he can lead or he can become a leader of whichever, you know, um, uh, power or office or anything, they should go. They should go for them with no hesitation, and they should bring them up to these kind of spaces and inform people that, you know, we support them with all whatever we can. Uh, just to give my what I'm thinking, because people have talked a lot here, and I don't want to keep repeating what people have said, but um, it's very sad at the moment to realize that we are living in a country that
I don't know
we
what's
don't
happening with
have.
the internet today. Ndovu, I can't hear you. Am I the only one who can't hear Ndovu? Because we lost you like 30 seconds ago.
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you, Ndovu. Let me mute you. Then I'm even unable to mute you. Jesus. Yeah. Afro. Sijui nimba na hii space.
Hello?
Freedom, unanisikia? Afro, refresh hii space. Wasa wasikizani kwa hii space. Afro, are you there? Afrocentric. Where? Tuna lose hii space. Afrocentric, wake up. Are you there? Can you hear me? Probably not. Ndovu, can you hear me again?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Ebu, go ahead. Nikijaribu kutafuta Afrocentric.
Yes, what I was saying. Like, it's sickening that we have a country that we don't feel safe. We don't feel safe. People are being abducted and being killed, and we are the sons and daughters of this country, and How comes with the youth of the country that we don't feel safe living in this country because we are fearing that someone will pick us up, someone will beat us up, someone will come and invade our houses. And this is a very bad thing that we have in our country at the moment. The government took this government through conmanship. I can say that because the guy was
Can
no.
you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. We can also hear Ndovu.
Oh, nyi mnaweza msikia, so mi ndio siwezi msikia. Okay, sacha ni mute basi.
Seems.
Ndovu basi, acha ni mute, we uongee tu. Akimaliza kuongea mniambie, juu mimi kuna time na mlose.
Yeah, I can go ahead now. Yeah, because the guy we all know these people, all these politicians. We know them. We've been in Kenya. We know all these people. They have been in corruption. They have been in land grabbing. They have been in all sort of things, destruction of the forest. You know about the Mao forest and all this stuff, and all these things. We know all these things, and they got into power. And what do we expect? These are the people that we have. What we need is we need statement. We don't need politician. We need statesmen and women who can stand up for this country. And this is the generation that need to change all these things to make the country, to sanitize the country, to bring back the good leadership of our country. Unemployment is a big problem in our country at the moment. And the solution for unemployment can be like kind of to come industrialization. Like, for example, if like we said, every county we have some industries set up, and we make Africa like our market. Like Africa, we sell our things to Africa, and Africa is too big. We cannot even be able to 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 satisfy Africa with our products. It's too big, and we have this market, and we only need like some industry, like we making clothes, we making shoes, we packing foods, we processing food, putting them in cans and all this kind of, and packing them and selling, and we have all the materials. We have cotton, we have wool, we have all kind of food stuff, all plants and all agriculture rich country, and we have all the minerals to even to create whatever we want to create. It's only the other thing that will come up is education, that we need to educate people to do all these kind of things to bring up industrialization, and it's possible. It's possible because we can only agree that when the late President Kibaki came in to power, he did something, and we all know he did something, and the country changed. If he did it, if he changed the country to some extent, a big extent, why can we not continue changing the country and continue bringing up good things in our country, and then we make everyone able to live in the country, and everything be fair to everyone. I want to go to give an example with China. At the moment, as we all know, China is the
Wadau, mtu anaongea kwa hii space. Joely, you have your hand up.
Chief Economist, are you there? Freedom, are you available?
Joely, yes, I'm here. I can't hear anyone. I'm hearing Ayo, then I'm not hearing
The
anyone. I
enemy
don't know
is
what's happening.
overworking. The enemy is overworking, but we will not relent.
Sure.
But I don't know if you heard my last submission, the way the Americans were losing their minds when Trump had met Putin. And they wanted to know exactly what they were discussing. And yet our own president delivered himself to White House. Even had a lovely photo. But none of us know exactly what they agreed upon.
I think I heard about, I don't know if you are the one who was talking about Ruto being a puppet of the West, and the politics of the US are these politics between these superpowers. We call them the core countries. These are people who are separated or differentiated as per ideology. China, Russia, the US, and this is why the time of Trump, we had sort of a very, very big culture shock, because we couldn't see why Trump was meeting Putin, because even their political ideologies are very, very different. Because Russia and the sort of the communist world really claim to be democratic, but if you find if you sort of look for information on how Putin sort of the way this guy really works on his opponents. Putin has killed a lot of people, and Trump was seen by the US to support these guys, and Trump was not a very, very big supporter of democracy. And these politics have really played out, and Russia can never change its position. This is why Russia is involved. The moment you see Russia being involved in a conflict, know that it will get bloody. And now, looking at the succeeding president, I can say, hello.
Please proceed.
Sorry, Joely, can you guys hear me?
Okay. Yes. Someone just, I've muted the mic. Continue.
Yes. And Joe Biden came in with the ideology of changing all this. But we should look at this from the perspective of how does it affect Africa? How does it affect the peripheral nations or the global West? Because the same way in our local governments, we understand our local politics from the perspective of tribalism, is the same way the global politics is understood in terms of developing nations, and underdeveloped or poor nations. Or more so, we can call them core nations, semi-peripheral nations, and peripheral nations, or the global West and the global North and the global South. This is how these people understand the classifications of our world. And the moment a president goes out to meet the global North or the core countries, the ideology has always been: you are coming here, we'll give you money, and the moment you give you money, we are going to give you money to do this and do that. It's all about foreign aid and loans. There is no single African president or African government that has ever engaged with a core nation or a global North nation in terms of them promoting our exports from our ends. Because this is not the ideology. The ideology is the global South is the producer of raw materials. The global North is the industrialized world. If you look at what the time Greece was in a very, very huge and big economic depression, the EU came in, and even the IMF, because these terms are the same: IMF, EU, UN, and the global capitalists, Akina, Goldman Sachs, and all those big banks. These are the same people. So what did they do in terms of Greece? They went to Greece, they assessed the economy, and because Greece was in a very, very tight position in terms of their economy or economic-wise, they looked at the nation and pinpointed on one thing that will get Greece out of this situation. And Greece is well known for its being a tourist country. Greece really gets a lot of money from tourism in terms of their economy. The same way we say here in agriculture in Kenya that agriculture is the core of our economy. In Greece, tourism is their core. And the EU, the IMF, went out in the European Union and in the US to market Greece as a tourist hub. And this saw a lot of inflow of tourists to Greece. And this, coupled with other measures of promoting Greece and promoting their exports, was the key in terms of getting Greece out of their economic depression or economic woes. That is now the intervention, the global north and the institutions of IMF sort of carry out in their peer nations. When the IMF was being formed, it was formed by these industrialized nations. And this has been seen as the reason why most of our global south countries have been left out, because we are not part of them. They are to revolutionize and market their products, but we are not sort of equal participants or equal members in these global institutions. We call them the Bretton Woods institutions. Now, another case in point is now we can compare what happened in Greece to what happened in Ghana. The moment Ghana, and Ghana has been sort of seen as the economic miracle of Africa since 2019 or 2017 all the way to 2019, if you remember very, very well. Now, Ghana currently, in the last 2 years, has been in economic turmoil. IMF came in. What did they do? They requested for restructure of debt. They restructured the debt. They did not look at the core sort of industries that can promote this country. So you have found yourselves in debt. What do? We will give you more time to pay this debt. And if you have worked in the banking sector, you know what restructure means. Restructure means that you are supposed to pay this loan in 2 years. You have not paid in 2 years. I'll give you another 5 years. But remember, interest will not be the same. It will now have added, because if you are to pay an interest of 2 million in 2 years, now you'll pay an interest of 4.5 million in 5 years. That's how restructure works. It's not a solution. Actually, people have fronted the idea of defaulting on debt as a solution for African countries. So these sort of differentiated policies and interventions is sort of anchored on these guys looking at us as producers of raw products. When Ruto went to the US, he came back with goodies, with loans. He did not come back with agreements on how we are going to promote our products, our exports in the US. Alikuja akasema tunajenga barabara. And if also you noted another fact is the multinationals in our country were the people who were controlling or sort of beneficiaries of the loans that were promised. Carbon credits, for example, who are the controllers of, we can call it now the carbon industry. I don't know if that term has sufficed in a way. We can call them the sort of the instigators or the promoters of this green world, or the reduction of pollution. akina Mogo, akina all these electric e-bikes and e-cars businesses in Kenya haziko, sio za Kenya. Hizo biashara si za Wakenya, hizo biashara ni za nje, zimekuja kujiestablish hapa Kenya. Now Ruto takes all these businesses to the US to get loans, then come and establish their businesses here. Now, if you know of one business that one local business that benefited from Ruto's tour, akiwalai tuambie. All the people who benefited are people who have establishments in Kenya. Look at the people who are being given control of our biggest industries or sectors in our economy. Angalia mtu kama the people who are given clinker. They are not Kenyan. Hawa ni Indians. Okay? So this is what happens. The global north are the controllers of capital. And they won't give you this capital directly. They'll give their people here. And this is why I'm very, very against this mindset, or really questions this mindset of bottom-up economics. Because bottom-up economics says that if I'm to develop my nation from the bottom up, as Ruto was telling us, you're supposed to make sure that the bottom sort of these small entrepreneurs are empowered. There is no other way. You can build houses, you can create manual jobs. Unaweza washa stima kwa kisiagi. But if you don't make sure that these people have capital still goes to the big institutions and foreign institutions in this country. Tutabaki kuwasha visiagi, tutawasha visiagi 200 kwa hii Kenya. Because if unawasha visiagi, there is no way that this is translating to bottom-up economics. Kwa sababu kuniwashia kisiagi yangu, it means nitasiaga forever. That is my business. But if you give me capital and sort of I'm able to engage in building my business, I'm able to build my business. I'm able to source kisiagi, electric. See, this is a diesel. I'm able to source that. That is the real development. But hii ingine yenye inafanywa, it's mere populist ideas. The deal in at JKIA, Adani is a foreign institution. You are giving the big deals to foreigners, unakuja kutuwashia visiagi. If you are to empower us as people who are at the bottom here, you are basically
Chief
supposed
Economist,
to...
umesema, you've said it in Swahili and that has rubbed us deep in the heart. Umekuja kulaunch visiagi. Hey, yawa.
It's true, by the way, because don't we have, as entrepreneurs, don't we have the capability of
Watu wana
realizing
launch
the modernization of an
power
institution?
projects that have made it cheap. That day, you remember that day, this is Muzungu who came and kama mpi. Ilikuwa Kenya ama ilikuwa Africa, anyway. Na akatengeneza akatuondokea. Huu tu bohol moja ndio nataka ku launch.
Just imagine and he makes an entourage and calls it development tour. But if Ruto and bottom up and the shenanigans, they are really made to work in our country, then it means a deal like Adani, probably as Kenyans, as entrepreneurs, hatujafika hiyo level ya ku make one company to handle everything. He can break down the deal, he can break down the contract and say that this contract has 5 parts. The first part, we are going to roof JKIA. Sorry, we can start at the top. Maybe it's only the government that starts at the top. We can start from the ground up. One person will do the piping. One company will do the piping. The other company is going to do the tarmacking. The other company is going to do the roofing. You break down that deal that way. It will make it easier for our businesses, our local entrepreneurs to benefit. But if you take the whole deal and give it to a foreign firm, citing that this deal is now very big, there's no local business or local sort of entrepreneurs who can take it up, then you're not helping us. There is no way that you are helping us as a country. Clinker, you take a whole sort of industry and give it to a foreign firm, rather than breaking it down and lifting the local entrepreneurs. Because if I'm able to get that deal as a local entrepreneur, then it means I'm going to employ more people. If I employ more people, these people will also go down and now start setting up those visiagis and such. But if you don't give me access to all these big tenders, you're giving them to foreigners, what are you really telling me? You see, social mobility works in that way. You can't carry out social mobility by sort of ignoring this fact that entrepreneurs have to move from this stage to the next stage. And the only way they can do that is through government interventions in terms of procurement and also capital. Hustler Fund. What can you do with Hustler Fund? Tuambiane tu kweli. It has been called the biggest thing or sort of the biggest program in bottom-up economics. What can you do with Hustler Fund to make sure that now you are able to move from one level of your business to the next? There is no way. This money inakufanya tu kuwe more in debt because you basically use it in consumption. So this mentality of bottom-up economics is something that inatumiwa kutuibia, inatumiwa kupromote outside investors, giving them very key sort of industries in our country. So Joylee, I don't know if you can hear me. I think nitashukia hapo. Thank you.
Okay.
Joylee, kindly, there is a guy here called The Village. I've seen him, Patrick, someone who knows a lot about mining and minerals, the deposits and the illegal stealing of minerals in our parks. I've heard him speaking in a number of spaces together with Dr. Haumbu and another guy called Engineer Akal. So at some point, probably, if he's available, if he's not he's not working or something, if he can get up and talk to us about the issue of mining and the mineral deposits that are found in Kenya. I don't know whether you would entertain such a thought because he's an expert in that area. I've heard him speaking severally, and he's quite experienced in that.
No, I haven't had the chance to hear him speak, but he's always welcome. We're going to have Babji and then Paul. Babji, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes. Thank you for the mic.
Hi.
And I thank the host for continuously doing this. I've always said that if we start talking about bad things in our nation, we can talk from January to December, because there is totally nothing good to be talked about. There's no day I've woken up and seen us talk about the government has improved in this sector, the government has delivered A and B. We are always talking about distraction, meaning we are all in distraction and we continue to be in it. So it is until I want to first congratulate ourselves for seeing our destiny. But again, I want to criticize ourselves, starting with myself, that we keep on running away from the destiny. We know very well that if the political class keep on being in the same seat, we cannot reach our destiny. So there is a bridge between us, Africans, and the West. And that bridge is this known political class. They will be recycled, they will be used all the time. So until we break that bridge, the bridge is being supported by tribalism. Last time it was hustler versus I don't know what. Then and now when we started about tribalist, leaderless, then another one is coming up, Nilots, Bantu. So those are the things that we are being controlled with. So I'm just requesting, as somebody has said, we must now get our own leaders, mapema, hata kama ni 300 leaders. They are tribeless, they are leaderless, but they are ready for position. Personally, I'm waiting for this IBC to be done with. Then I announce my position that I'm going to take away the position in my sub constituency, because it is until revolutionary become leaders that is when we will have change. If we don't have leaders, then there will be no difference between us and our forefathers who fought. When Wazungu was living, was the leadership left for those who are in the bush, or it was left for some idiots? I don't know the answer because I was not there. But juicy, when Gen Z sent away the CS, the positions, were they taken by the revolutionaries or some of the Gen Zs or the Gen Z supporters? The answer is no. The position were taken by tribesmen, the highest bidder, the women with the biggest buttocks, and the daughter, sons, and the girlfriend of the political class. So we can fight, but if we don't have people to put there, then we will just be removing a monkey and putting a monkey in the same bush. So we need leaders. Let us take these positions with no fear. Wacha kiumane huko mbele. And we must continue speaking tribalist and leaderless. That is where our strength is. So that another day I commented on Ruto. Then somebody, instead of trying to understand what I've just commented, was saying, I've checked the name. Niluo. So it's not even about what you have talked about. It is where are you coming from. So we must think this, kama we ni Mkikuyu, we enda tu pale kwa boda useme mi sibebwi leo na Mkikuyu, nabebwa na Mjaluo, mimi ni tribeless. Kama wewe ni Mjaka, enda pale ubebwe na Mkikuyu useme mimi ni tribeless. Everywhere just let us just be walking tribeless. Then this movement of Ruto.
Is Babji still speaking? Abdurrahman, can you hear me?
Thank you. Yes, Jailin, come in.
I seem to have lost you for a minute, but please summarize so that we can have more speakers speaking.
I've already summarized. The next speaker can come in.
Okay, I know Paul had raised his hand. I don't know whether he still wants to speak, and then we go to Riek. Paul, are you there?
Amia, thank you, Jolene, Afro, and the rest. To me, I wanted to talk to the chief direct because chief was talking about tribalism. I want to tell him yesterday, kuna MC alikuwa anaitwa Sami hapa Kisumu. Hakuna kazi amefanya, basari ameandika tu list ya majina na kuna check. Alifukuzwa, ilibidi alale kwa police station hapo Ubunga station. Kama wenye unajua Ubunga station, kudisperse hiyo group walitumia teagas. Inamaanisha hiyo civic education inafanya kazi mpaka huko Kisumu. So msioni hiyo mambo za tribes imeharibu mpaka maandamano. Kile vitu zinaendelea hapa mbele. So hiyo issue ya leaders na mimi na si support kwa sababu leaders, serikali kuna njia mingi ya kufinya hao ma leaders ku accept vile wanataka ili kucontrol, wako na vitu mingi, so hiyo leaders watakuwa compromise. Hiyo ndio kenye naweza sema.
Asante, Paul. Riek, are you there?
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, please proceed.
Okay. In this movement, what I can say is that we are somewhere now. By the way, our wanasiasa, what I can say is still it's like bado hawaamini what's happening in this country, Kenya. Cause like yesterday, I had an MP talking na nikashindwa huyu, what's this guy saying? Anaongea nini juu hata vile alikuwa anaongea watu wanamwangalia tu. It's like wanataka watu wachia, but people, civic education is working, my friends. Civic education is working mashinani. Aule MP anakuja anasimama kwa gari juu anaambia watu, yani they have nothing to explain to wananchi why they entered there. These ODM guys hawana, anaambia watu Ruto alikuwa mbaya. Ruto alikuwa mbaya juu watu wa ODM hawakuwa kwa serikali, but sahii tuko huko ndani. Sahii Ruto ni mzuri. They have nothing to explain to wananchi. So this thing we are draining it. Sahii nasikia kuna MCA mwingine nimesikia hapo nimefurahia sana, wewe mwenye alilala police station. Kuna mwingine amesarenda huku mashinani. The last ilikuwa kwa nini Siaya County nini ward ingine inaitwa nini West Sakwa. The guy alikuwa chief, alikuwa anafanya vizuri, akaachana na hiyo akaingia MCA. After that the guy did nothing. Hata yeye mwenyewe alikuwa anajua tu hakuna kitu nimefanyia hao watu. So ilifika time hapo 2022. Jamaa alinunua tu hizo magari zake, hizi mapickup second hand, ako nazo hapo. Jamaa akasema mimi naye sivai. This time naye nimeacha. Na aliacha hivyo, anaendelea na biashara zake juu anajua hakuna kitu alifanya, hakuna vile anaweza convince watu mnipigie kura tena. There is nothing. But what I can say, hata mwenye aliingia, these leaders are doing nothing. And sahii wamegundua people are awake. Wamekuja na propaganda ingine. Kuna mzee aliniambia, nyinyi what you are doing is good, but think twice, cause wanaleta ukabila kwa ground sasa juu wameona hakuna mahali wanaenda. MP anajua tu hii naye au wananitoa juu every weekend walikuwa wanakuja. Ukiona magari tatu zinafuatana hizi ma V8 ma TX wakipita kwa center, watu wa pikipiki na nini, watu wanafuata hizo magari zao mbio. But siku hizi wanaona tu watu wako tu, watu walikuwa wanafuata hizo magari, mnapewa 5,000 hapo, anatoka mbio, anaacha watu wakipigana. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa furaha yao. But sasa wanaona wenye wanawafuata ni wachache.